we all have reasons for losing weight. And that reason changes from one person to the next. For me, my wake up call was at the end of 2024 going into 2025 when I was sent to the ER by the nursing home that I was working inside of. They pulled me aside. I'd been struggling for like a week with like walking. My lower calves were hard as rocks. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't really put any pressure on my legs. And my supervisor was like, I'm pretty sure you have a blood clot. Go to the ER, have them do an ultrasound, and see if that's what the problem is. And I went, as you know, my boss told me to go to the ER, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. Like I'm in my early 30s. I was even earlier 30s at the time. It's like there can't be no possible way that I have a blood clot. I'm in my early 30s. Yeah, I'm like 300 freaking pounds, but that's besides the point. I'm moving around a lot. I smoke on a little occasions, but not really enough that would warrant something like that. It's like surely this isn't an issue. It was the issue. I had blood clots. And being in the ER and having them pressing up my legs and like doing the test and then figuring out that I have blood clots and my blood pressure is elevated out of the wazoo. And then dealing with like stomach problems on top of all of that we would find out in the coming months was my gallbladder failing, which was my second reason for losing weight. Like that was number reason too. My gallbladder had hit 10 to 15%. It had to be removed. We found out at the same time that I have alpha gal syndrome. So a lot of my comfort foods, like the foods that I would normally eat, that I've been eating since I was a kid, and I have autism and ADHD. So like I would eat only like a very small certain group of foods, and eating anything outside of those foods would cause me a lot of anxiety and stress. But, getting through like the medical necessities in the beginning of 2025, because that's when all that started. I talked to my doctors like, hey, I have PCOS, I have insulin sensitivity issues, I have ED, I have a dysregulated, dysfunctional relationship with food in general. I need to lose weight, but I also need help managing up here so that I'm not thinking about food 24/7. And she goes over like my paperwork and everything, all of my my labs and like my health conditions, and she's like, as someone with PCOS, this would be a very good drug for you. It'll help with the food noise. So here's tirzepatide, Zepbound. Take it. It'll help. It did. It really did. I started taking that in like probably May. I started taking that in May. And now, basically a year into my weight loss journey, almost a year since May, since I started taking tirzepatide, I'm looking at all of the different reasons why I started like losing weight. We already covered the blood clots and the IBS and the gallbladder removal. Another one was the depression. So mental health, when you're overweight, it dips, and it dips hard, because when you're overweight, a lot of the foods that people tend to eat when they are overweight are highly processed, and highly processed foods cause inflammation. Inflammation causes fatigue, which causes more depression, which causes more moments of shoving food into your gob and not really thinking about it, which causes even more inflammation on top of that, which just creates more of the fatigue and more of the depression. And it's this endless cycle that just drives people utterly balmy. And that's what happened to me. My depression would last for months, because at the time we didn't realize I was bipolar. And so I was dealing with that. And I was dealing with chronic inflammation and pain slowly becoming a normal, because when you are overweight, you're having a lot of pressure put on top of your joints, which that hurts. And like I couldn't walk for very long without my legs starting to hurt. I had less mobility. I couldn't sit crisscross or Indian style, however you call it. I grew up calling it Indian style. Like I couldn't like cross my legs without it hurting. And like another big thing that I had noticed is like back in my early 20s, I would wear like an extra large to a 1X in shirts. I was still overweight even then. But in like the beginning of 2025, I was wearing like a 4 to a 5X in clothes. because the bigger shirts always made me feel better about myself. Usually I was probably about a 4X. Like some 3Xs I could fit in depending on the brand. But for the most part, I'd be 3 to 4X with the occasional 5X if I really liked the shirt and I didn't want it fitting anywhere like close to my body. And like, the self-esteem just slowly it went south. And it's harder to see yourself as pretty or being worthy of other people's attentions or their affections when you are severely overweight, because your depression is taking over your brain and it's controlling everything else. And it's a horrible place to be mentally. And I don't know how a lot of other people manage to make it look like they're so happy and vibrant and everything is right in the world, even when they're carrying over 100 pounds of weight, because I was there. I was morbidly obese. Like, my BMI, if I remember right, was like in the 40s. Like on a BMR, like a BMR, a BMI chart, I was classified as class 3 morbid obesity. Like, just to get to the point where I'm at now, like, I have lost almost 90 pounds. Like, I'm getting close to like the 90-pound mark from when I started at the beginning of 2025. I have hit like the 205 mark. I am 5-6 pounds away from Wonderland, which is like phenomenal because I haven't been anywhere like this size in a very, very long time. And self-esteem went south. Like, I didn't really like getting my photos taken, and because like anytime I'd see a photo, like a group photo, because at my church, for instance, we do like a giant group photo during some of like our big seasons, like at like Pascha, for instance. When we do Pascha, we do a huge group photo, and in my first one I had seen myself in the photo, and for the most part I was 2 to 3 times larger than the people around me. And even though I felt beforehand, before I saw that picture, I had felt pretty, like I was wearing a pretty dress, it fit me properly, it hugged my curves in the right way, I saw the photo and I was disgusted. And like, low self-esteem. And like I said, like, the entire like mental health, it just dips. I hated getting my photo taken, like just having to wear clothing as a shield and armor, because we hate how much our bodies look and how we feel inside of them. Like, it's not a very comfortable place to be. And like, one of my smaller things that I hadn't really noticed was how trapped I was inside of the food noise. I had an addiction to food. I still do. It's not as bad as it was because medication is kind of managing that. But I was eating lots of takeout, lots of unhealthy foods, highly processed foods. I was addicted to sweets, which is something I'm not. Like, I have some sweets. Like, where is it at? Okay. One of my sweets, I have these. I hate dark chocolate. I hate them with a passion. But anytime I have a craving for like chocolate, I'll eat one of those. And then I have some, where did I put it? I only get it every once in a while, but some 7-7, it's some oat milk chocolate. I'll eat like 3 little bars each day. And it's just like a little something. I haven't had it in like a month. So like, I'm super excited for that. But yeah, reasons to lose weight for me. A lot of it was health related. Others was up here, because we had found out that a lot of my depression spirals and why they were so intense is because I am bipolar. And so I'll go through months of very intense depressions, and then I'll have very short, brief manic periods, and then I just have these calm periods where I almost feel apathetic because it's not exciting like the manic periods are, but it's also not as consuming as the depression is. And those periods would last so long, and during my depression spirals I would eat to not think about how I was feeling. And during my manic periods I would also eat because I have all this energy and I'm doing things, and like my hunger was all over the place. Like right now, like this is my breakfast right here. It's my daily protein shake. it takes me quite a little while to kind of get through it and everything. Put that back inside my drawer so I don't have it on my desk in front of me. But yeah, reasons for like losing weight. And like in the beginning of the video, I had like a little slideshow of like different things from the week. I also had a nerve conductive test, confirmed that I have cubital tunnel inside my arm. I see orthopedics at the end of the month to figure out what the next go-to for my arm is. And so there's just a bunch of different things going on right now, and this is just a start.